So in in Security Plus, we have total 16 modules. 16 modules are there. So what I have done here, the first 8 modules we will be talking today. Okay, these are the first 8 modules here, and I have pick up topics from this modules. We will be discussing that. So the first module is about summarizing fundamental security concepts. So I have pick up a topic from here, and we will be discussing that. Compare threat types is second. Explain cryptography solutions is third. Implement identity and access management is fourth. Then we have secure enterprise network architecture. Then we have secure cloud network architecture and explain vulnerability management. So I have picked up the topics, and we will be discussing that today. And the rest of the 8 module we will be discussing tomorrow. Okay. So this is how today class will going on. Will be proceed. Okay. So now let's start with introduction. So before starting with the introduction, I would like to ask you guys that what do you understand by cybersecurity and information security? What is the difference between cybersecurity and information security? And you can use chat box to answer. Okay, I will be monitoring the chat box. So what do you think? What is the difference between cybersecurity and information security? Okay, so can I say this thing that cybersecurity is a subset of information security, as Sheikh is saying? Is it correct? Both are related to data protection. Protection. In information security also we are protecting data. In cyber security also we are protecting data. Okay, both are about data protection. See, when we talk about the difference between information security and cyber security, so information security is a bigger picture. Okay, why? Because when we talk about information security, we are covering everything. We are protecting all form of data here. Okay, all form of information, whether that information is digital or physical. And when we are talking about cybersecurity, so in cybersecurity, we are only protecting digital data. Only digital RAM is protected here from unauthorized access, from cyber attacks, from uh, malware, from DOS attack, all these things. Okay, so in the cybersecurity, we are dealing with threats like hacking, malware, phishing, ransomware, denial of service attack, all these things we are dealing in cybersecurity. So cybersecurity practice would be like setting up a firewalls, using IDS, intrusion detection system, securing cloud environment to prevent data breaches and services disturbance. And when we talk about information security, here we are protecting everything. Okay, all medium of information, whether it's a paper, okay, sensitive paper is there, or we are securing files, we are applying access control, okay, to both physical as well as digital records. So this is information security. So information security is a umbrella term, okay, and cyber security is a subset of information security. So that is the difference between cyber security and information security. Okay. So let's say if I'll tell you a scenario of a hospital. So a hospital stores patient record. Okay. So when we talk about cyber security term, so they are protecting electronic health records in the hospital's IT system from hacker or malware. That is cyber security. And in the information security, they are also protecting printed medical files, verbal discussions, and physical documents from unauthorized access. Okay. So both are talking about protection data. Okay, but cyber security is mainly focused on digital things, but information security is focusing on everything. That's why we say cyber security is a subset of information security. And here, when we talk about information security, we have the pillar of information security, that is CIA triad. Okay, so whenever, like, you guys, as I have you guys are saying that you have experience in the security part, you know, you are attending webinar and all of these things. But whenever we talk about information security, whenever we talk about the CIA, okay, these are the pillar of security. Here we have C, which stands for confidentiality. We have I, which stands for integrity, and we have A, which stands for availability. So these are the pillar we have. Okay. Confidentiality says that our data, our information should remain protected from any unauthorized person. Okay. No unauthorized access can happen to our data, our asset. That is confidentiality. Okay. The person who don't have right credentials, they cannot access our data. So that is confidentiality. Okay. We want to protect our data from unauthorized access. Integrity means that the data should not be altered or tampered or modified by any unauthorized user. So its integrity should be maintained. Okay, that is integrity. Availability says that the data should always be accessible who have the right to access it. That is availability. And when we talk about security, okay, here we have defensive security, offensive security. So in the defensive, we are trying to protect these things. We are trying to protect the CIA in the defensive side. On the other hand, when we talk about offensive side of the security, there we are trying to breach the CIA. So whole security revolve around the CIA. And now if I'm like I have discussed about the CIA, okay? Now I want you guys to tell me how can you achieve confidentiality, integrity, availability? One example of each. About confidentiality, integrity, availability with one example of each. So if we talk about this confidentiality, so how you achieve confidentiality? Encryption. Okay, using encryption you can achieve it. Access control is there. So rule based, role based access control, principle of least privilege, right? Using it you can achieve confidentiality. For integrity we have hashing. We can use hashing, we can use checksum, we can use digital signature. So these things used for confidentiality. And availability, backups, load balancer. So these are the way you can achieve confidentiality and integrity and availability. So like I'm talking about confidentiality, and I told you this thing about encryption, right? So what encryption does? Anyone? Okay, so this website is there, right? And this website is saying connection is not secure. Connection is not secure. So that means the communication which will happen in this website won't be secure. So what do you think? What protocol? What protocol is being used here? And the answer is given in the on the screen only if you check it properly. HTTP, correct. So HTTP is what? It's secure or not? No, HTTP is not secure. Why? Because data is traveling in a plain text in HTTP. So that means here confidentiality is not there, no encryption is there. So if you try to send anything in this website, it will go in the plain text. And what is the mitigation for that? Mitigation is HTTPS, because HTTPS is secure, and here S stand for secure. That means the data will be traveled, whatever data will go, it will go in a encryption form, encrypted form. Okay. Integrity we can achieve by using hashing, like we use hashing for that. So hash is what? Hash is a one way process. And where we use hashing? Any application of hashing? Integrity is there, yes, for data integrity. Other than that, for saving the passwords also. Our passwords are saved in a hash form. Our passwords are never saved in a plain text. Okay, so application of integrity is there. Also for digital signatures. So all these places are there where hashing is used. And hashing is what? Hashing is a one-way process. Okay, and no matter what, how long your data is, it will give you a fixed length digest. Okay, like here, and we use algorithms for this. Okay, so MD5 is one of the algorithm for hashing. And see, I write this hello, okay, and I got this fixed length hash. And why we are talking about that, it's used for integrity, like for data tampering. Because if I'll add a small dot here, normal dot, okay, nothing I did. Hello is same, but I'm just adding a dot. And if I'll try to generate the hash, everything is changed. So that's why we say integrity is used for hashing. Uh, Hashing is used for integrity. And a slight change in your data will completely alter the value of your hash. And this is what this is called avalanche effect. And one more thing I was saying in the definition, that no matter whatever the length of your message, it will give you a fixed length hash. Okay, it is 128 bit for MD5. So see this, I'm just writing anything random. Okay, don't mind. Writing anything, and if I'll try to generate the hash of it, this I don't know, blah blah message, and see the string, it's same. Okay, so no matter what, whatever the length of your message, whatever the length of your data, the hash will be of fixed length based on the algorithm, what algorithm you are using, because different algorithm have different length. Okay, we have SHA 256, SHA 512, SHA 1 family is there, SHA 3 family is there, MD5 is there, so all have different length. Okay, so that is hashing. Now availability, you can achieve availability using backup and load balancers. Okay, so how this availability can be compromised? Anything if we are remembering, like let's say you went to a to take out money, okay, and it says that server is not available. So what happened here? Availability is compromised here, correct? But there is one thing called DOS. So what is this DOS? Denial of service. So denial of service is what? It's like, let's say I'm an attacker, okay, and I want to distributed denial of service attack and denial of service attack are two different things. Okay, here DOS is distributed denial of service. This is DOS, denial of service. Distributed denial of service is different. It's DDoS. Okay. Yes, Anil, flood the website so actual user cannot access it. Flood the website means I am an attacker. Okay. And this is my victim. Any website is there. And what I will do, I will send a large amount of traffic to this website. Lots and lots of traffic. And because of that, what happened? The server won't, the web servers, the servers, they won't able to take the load. Okay, and then they become unavailable. And that's why if a legitimate user will go and they try to open the website, they won't be able to do. So that is DOS. And because of this DOS attack, okay, availability will be compromised. Because now you're a genuine user and you open the same website, you're not able to access the website. So this is what, this is where the availability is getting compromised. And here we have one more thing, that is DDoS. So in the DDoS also we are doing the same thing. We are doing the attack, but this time what we are doing, this time I am not directly doing the attack. I am an attacker. I am not directly sending the attack, but this time I am using second computer. compromised computers, and these computers are sending the request to the victim this time. It's not me. I'm commanding these zombie computers, which is known as bot, okay, to send the request to the victim. And they are the one who are sending the IPs now. They are the one who are sending the traffic now. And the series of these compromised computers are called botnet. So these botnets are used for distributed denial of service. See, I am an attacker, okay, and here 28 people are sitting. What I will do, I will send a link to you guys, and I'll send a payload in it, like let's say a Trojan, okay, a malware I'll send, Trojan I'll send, rat Trojan. And I'll tell you that this I'm sending a link, and these link have a questions, right? Like security plus questions are there. You can open it. You guys will open it. All 28 people will open it. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll as soon as you click on the link, the uh, malware will execute. Okay. And now I can have a backdoor access to your system, because rat do what? Rat give backdoor access of victim system to the attacker. Okay, so I'm an attacker, I got the access. Now I can make your system as a bot, and I can command and control your system remotely, and I can make your system send a traffic to someone else. Okay, so you won't know, but from your system the request will go, and because of that, victim will become compromised. His resources will become unavailable. So this is how, using your system, I can do DDoS attack on someone else. So I'll command and control you guys. This is what DDoS attack is. Okay. And obviously, because of this DDoS attack, what will happen? The website will become unavailable, right? So that's why we have mitigations for that. Like, we not DDoS attack, but normally I'm saying mitigations about the availability. Like, we should have a backups. We should use load balancer. So what load balancer does? It balances the traffic equally among the servers. So we have virtual load balancers, we have hardware load balancers, okay, and it work. Load balancer also work with a algorithm. Based on the algorithm, it will distribute the traffic among the servers, and it won't let a single server become compromised. So let's say here traffic is coming from the internet. So based on the algorithm, here we have round robin algorithm, weighted round robin is there, least connection is there, all algorithms are there. Based on it, it will divide the traffic among different servers equally. So that is a load balancer. Okay. So these are the CIA. After CIA, we have security controls. Okay. We are talking about protection. So how we can protect? We can protect using controls. Okay. So here which you see, managerial, operational, technical, physical. These are what? These are types of security control. And the one which you see here, preventive, detective, corrective, these are functions of security controls. Okay. Okay. So here we have types: managerial, operational, technical, physical, and we have these functions. So when we talk about this managerial, physical, operational, so what are these? Managerial means we are talking about control. Okay, means we are talking about protections. So these controls are what? They are like the safeguards we have to put in the organization to protect our information. Okay, to protect information systems like hardware, software, data from security risk. And why we are doing this? Because we have to protect the CIA of information, right? Confidentiality, integrity, availability. So here we have managerial, operational, technical, and physical. So managerial is what? Managerial means here we are talking about policies. Policies, procedures. Okay, we are establishing rule, guidelines for user and administrator. That is managerial, administrative control. So we have incident response planning, we have security awareness training, we have termination policies, we have password policies. All these things comes under managerial administrative control. The policy and procedure we make in the organization in order to protect it. Okay. Then we have operational. So operational is what? Operational is like people, here people are involved. Okay, so we are making a change management policies there. We made. So what we did, people are there, people are working here. So we are controlling the change to systems, application, configuration, everything are happening with the people. That is operational control. We are ensuring that data is regularly backed up. Okay, can be restored in case of data loss or corruptions. So all that thing come under operational control. So operational control, uh, like you can if I'll give more example in the operational control part, so you can say that it focus on day to day security procedures and activities. Okay, to ensure that operation day to day operations are going on properly, to protect the data, to ensure system everything is protected. So that is operational security control. So SOC team is there for incident response. Security awareness team is there. They are educating employee about phishing, social engineering. We have change management process that ensure update everything is happening properly. Data backup, disaster recovery is there, right? That ensure business continuity in case of cyber attacks. So these all control, they work together. Okay, to make the security posture better. And then we have this technical and physical. Technical means here we are talking about hardware and software things, like software things we are talking about. Technical, technology driven things to protect the data. So we are using firewalls. Firewall is a technical control. Encryption we are using is a technical control. Using antivirus, anti malware is a technical control. Multi-factor authentication is a technical control. Okay, so where we are using technologies, that is a technical control. And when we talk about physical, so physical is what? Anything which is tangible. That is physical control. Okay, so here in the physical control, what you are doing? Physical control, actually, you're talking about security guards. You're talking about door. You're talking about CCTVs, biometric authentications, access card, server room lock, fences. So physically, you are doing things. So that is physical. So when we talk about the relationship between all these things, right? So they all work together in order to protect your organization. So technical control is like firewall you are using. Okay. Managerial control means the company is enforcing a cybersecurity policy to that says that you need firewall and regular updates. Physical control means a computer is using a is restricted access to the data center using a biometric. So physical comes here. And operational means a security analyst is there who monitor the firewall logs for suspicious activity. So all these will work together in order to make your organization better, as I already mentioned. Okay, these are the types. So whenever someone will ask you the types, remember managerial, operational, technical, and physical are the types. But this preventive, detective, and corrective are not the type, they are the functions of security controls, based functionality of it. Okay, so we have this preventive. Preventive means when you're stopping something from happening. The control that prevents security incident, that is preventive. Detective means now you're trying to identify it. These control identify security breaches or suspicious activity after they happen. And corrective is what? Corrective means these control respond to incident and it can help to recover from the breaches. That is corrective control. Operation means day to day operation. You make a policy that password policy will be there. Okay, that is a managerial. Operational means now you are executing that password policies. Now people are executing it. That is operational. When operation is happening, day to day things are happening. That is operational. Policy, you declare something, you make a high level policy to fulfill that policy. When things were happening day to day, that is operational. Yes, you can say that. Operation means patches or updates your user system. Operation you are doing. Activity you are doing day to day. Okay. Preventive. Preventive means when you are preventing something. So firewall is a preventive control. Okay, why? Because it filter incoming, outgoing traffic. Multi-factor authentication is a preventive control. Encryption is a preventive control. Security awareness training is a preventive control. Access control list is a preventive control. IDS is a IPS is a preventive control, intrusion prevention system. So it is preventing something from happening. Okay. Detective, we have IDS, intrusion detection system. We have honeypot, that is also IDS. We have security audits. We have SIM solutions. We have antivirus scans. So these are preventive, detective controls. Okay, the functionality. Corrective means when something happened, right? So we have incident response teams in the organization. Patching system. Okay, forensic analysis, quarantine a system, rebooting a system. So these are corrective control when you're correcting something. And one thing about it is that this is the type. Okay, individually types are there, and when we talk about this preventive, detective, corrective, we combine all these things together. See, IPS is for prevention. Okay, these are the security tool. IPS, what it does, it monitor your traffic as well as it will prevent it. It won't let the malware enter in your organization. It will just drop the packet if it finds something malicious. That is IPS. That's why it's a preventive control. IDS is a detective control. It will just see, it will just alert the security people that something malicious happened, but it won't prevent it from happening. So this is the difference. That's why one is preventive and one is detective. Okay. So these are the controls we have. Now let's do a question based on it. Okay. So we have first question which says, I want you guys to answer. Okay. ABC options are there. You can use it. The question says, only employee with specific roles and a legitimate need to know can access client file. So this approach align with which of the following security principle? Availability, confidentiality, integrity, non-repudiation. Confidentiality is the correct answer because confidentiality is the one which says that the person who have right access can only have the access to our data. So answer B is correct. Okay. Now let's see next question. It says at a secure facility, visitors must present a photo ID at check-in and use an access control entry system. This type of access control is classified under which of the following category? So we are talking about presenting a photo card physical. Why? Because we are talking about something tangible, right? We are giving the card. It's a physical security. Option A is the correct answer. Now we have the last question which says, after restoring a file from a backup, the owner of a small business wants to better understand the role of file permissions. Despite having permissions set on the share drive, the company was unable to determine who deleted the file. The engineer explained the enabling file auditing would allow tracking of all changes made to the shared drive, including who made them. How does this help address the issue of not knowing who modified or deleted the file? So answer is non-repudiation. Okay, non-repudiation is what? Non-repudiation means it is also like after CIA, two more pillars are there. One is non-repudiation and authenticity. Okay, so non-repudiation means what? Non-repudiation is like if someone has done something, okay, later they cannot deny that that person hasn't done that thing. That is non-repudiation. So how we can achieve non-repudiation? By digital signature. because whenever we make any payment, okay, even we are making online payment, we are sending any email, so a digital signature is sent along with that. And that's why later a person cannot deny that he haven't done that thing, okay, because of non-repudiation. So here the correct answer is non-repudiation, because the engineer examined the enabling file auditing would allow tracking all changes made shared drive, including who made them. How he know? Because of digital signature, because of non-repudiation, because if you done something you cannot deny later that you haven't done it. Okay, so option C is the correct answer. Now let's talk about vulnerability, threat and risk. Okay, so vulnerability is what? Vulnerability is any weakness, right? A flaw or weakness in a system, in a software, in a process. That is a vulnerability. Threat means a potential danger. A threat is anything. It's a person, group, tool, or condition that can exploit a vulnerability to cause harm. Okay. And risk. Risk is the potential impact. That is risk. Risk is like the potential possibility of a threat exploiting a vulnerability. Okay. So let's say there is an outdated web application is there, and it is still uses an old version of PHP with some known security vulnerability, security bugs. Okay, so this is a weakness in that web application. Here, if we talk about the thread, okay, for this vulnerability, so the thread is what? Thread means a potential danger. So a thread is anything. Okay, it could be a person, group, or anyone. So here a hacker is there who discovered that the outdated PHP vulnerabilities is there. So now he will try to exploit it to gain unauthorized access. So that is threat. Risk is what? So in if this outdated web application, okay, is accessible over the internet, the hacker, okay, means hacker is the threat, they actively target it. So there is a high risk of a data breach or site defamation. So this is how thread, vulnerability, risk is there. And if we talk about the relationship between them, okay, so vulnerability is a weakness, threat is a potential danger, risk is the impact. So they both are related together because risk is equal to threat into vulnerability. And now whatever impact will happen, it will be seen. So these are the threat, vulnerability and risk. Okay. Now when we are talking about these threats, here we have threat actors. So here you can see on the screen that nation state, cyber criminal, hacktivist, terrorist group, thrill seekers, insider threats are there. Other than that, do we have any other thing like, have you guys know about black hat hackers, white hat hacker or gray hat hacker? Okay, so if I'll give one word for all, so black hat means malicious. Okay, they are the malicious actor. They have the bad intention. Okay, they want to breach your system for money, for profits, for gain. So they are the malicious one. White are the ethical one. Means they will go by the rule. Okay, and company hire these ethical hackers to do the pen testing. Okay, in the organizations. So we have CH, certified ethical hacker. One course is there, our certificate is there. So we teach about the ethical way of hacking. Okay, then we have gray. Gray is what? Bug bounting. Okay, it's gray hack. Like they are someone between white and black. They do get in your network without your information, but they don't have any malicious purpose. They just want recognition or money. So that's why bug bounting is an example of gray hat. So these are the types of hacker we have: black, gray and white. After that we have these threat actors. So nation state actors are there. Okay, so nation state are the one who are who have great funds. Okay, And they have geopolitical motivation, means they are government based groups are there who are conducting cyber operations to gather to gather the intelligence, okay, to affect the adversaries or do the dominance. So they are nation state, they are funded by government, they are highly skilled, okay, and they use good tools and great knowledge and all. So they are the one nation states, okay. Then we have cyber criminals. So cyber criminals, their motivation is what? Their motivation is profit. So these actors are driven by financial gain, and they are the one who often do ransomware attacks, banking, they send banking trojans, phishing, and data thefts to just extort the money. So they are the cyber criminals. Then we have hacktivists. So hacktivists are what? They work, they have motivation of ideologies or ideological they have. So there is a group called Anonymous. Okay, Anonymous group is there. So these hacktivists, they are individual who hack to promote a political or social cause. Okay, they are the hacktivist. So anonymous group is there. Okay. So usually they are the one who target government and they target corporate website to protest corruption or to protest human right violations and all these things. So that is activist. Okay. Then we have this terrorist group. So terrorist group motivation have, obviously this is, as you can know, violence, right? So these groups use these cyber capabilities to promote extremist ideologies, right, spread propaganda or disturb critical systems. So that is terrorist groups, right? They are the terrorist group. Then we have thrill seekers, or you can say script kiddies. So script kiddies are the one who don't have good knowledge. They are depending on pre-existing tools, and just for satisfaction they will do the attacks. Okay, they don't cause any harm, but they might open door for future attacks. Okay, because of them, maybe they open some port or something, so it can do that, right? Thrill seekers. So it's like, let's say there is a teenager and he exploit a known vulnerability and he just defame the website using some tool. Okay, so that these are the thrill seekers or script kiddies. And the last one we have insider threats. So insider threats, if I'm talking about, uh, this is what, these are the disgruntled employees. Okay, like the employees who are not happy with the organization and they might intentionally cause harm to the organization by leaking the data or by selling access and all these things. So when we talk about insider threat, okay, so what do you think? I want you guys to answer me. Do you think insider threats are always malicious? Like they do things intentionally, always? Insider threat is what, like I would say we all are insider threats. Okay, we all are working in some organization and we all are insider threats. So sometimes we do threats intentionally, okay, when we have some motive, when we are not happy with the organization, then we do things intentionally. But sometimes what happen, by mistake also things can happen. By mistake you click on a malicious link, right? By mistake you are doing things, you deleted some important file. So that's why we say insider threats. Correct. Motivation would be can be different. Like always it's not like that I have a malicious motive only and then only I will do these things. Sometimes by mistake also we can do things. So that's why we have controls in the organization. We have role based access control, principle of least privilege. All these things are there because we are the insider threats, and to protect these things we use it. Okay, so insider threats are the disgruntled employee, as we already discussed. So these are the threat actors we have. Okay, and the side black white head, black white gray is also there. Now, yeah, let's talk about social engineering as well. So social engineering is what? Social engineering is something for that, like we don't need any technical knowledge. Okay, although you don't know how to uh, make a payload or how to use a tool, then also you can do social engineering. It is something for that, for which you don't need technical knowledge. Okay, so social engineering is what? Social engineering is a weakness of human mind. That is social engineering. Okay. uh, so we have types of social engineering attacks. We have phishing, wishing, spear phishing, pretexting, whaling, baiting, tailgating, water hole, smishing, farming, and all. So phishing is what? Let me give you one small example of all these. So phishing, here in the social engineering, from everywhere we want to gather the information, okay, whether money or personal information, credentials, or anything, by manipulating human. Okay, I want to manipulate the human and I want to get the information. So phishing is what? Phishing is about using a, like, I'm using a mass emails or messages that trick user into clicking malicious link, okay, or revealing credentials. So let's say you are getting an email pretending to be from your bank asking you to verify your account. So that is phishing. Okay. Spear phishing here. So the difference between phishing and spear phishing is that in the phishing, both are doing the same. Both are sending the email. Okay. Both will send the email. Yes, correct. Randomly send out in the world to someone can catch it and like phishing. Yes, correct. So in the spear phishing, I'm sending a mass email to everyone, and whoever will click on it, it's good. In the spear phishing, what I'm doing, I'm targeting a specific group of people. Okay, I'm not sending to anyone. I'm not targeting the mass this time. I'm only targeting the specific group of people. That is spear phishing. Okay, I'm only targeting the people who work in InfosecTrain, let's say, and I'm crafting an email and I'm sending to them. That is spear phishing. Phishing, I'm targeting everyone. Spear phishing, I'm targeting a specific group of people. Okay. Then we have this wishing. Wishing means when you're getting a phone call, phone based attack, where the attacker pretend to be a trusted entity. Voice phishing. Okay. Jamtara movie is there in the Netflix. You can watch it. So I'm calling from your bank. Your card is about to expire. Give me your credentials. That this is wishing. Okay. In a phone call, I'm doing it. Then we have smishing. So what's when same thing is happening through SMS, that is smishing. Okay, I want to gain the information, but this time I'm using SMS. You want KBC. Okay, click on this link. Your loan is passed. So all these things are smishing. Then we have whaling. Whaling is what this time I'm doing. I'm targeting a big fish. I'm targeting a CEO of that company, a high profile individual like executive or politicians. That is whaling. So I'm sending some spoof legal complaint to a company CEO demanding urgent action like that. So I can send a mail or something for so that he will click on it and anything. So I'm targeting the high profile people. That is whaling. Okay. Uh, Here I'm using QR code. QR code phishing is there. So attacker using QR code to trick user into scanning a malicious link. Okay. Then we have this baiting. Baiting means I'm offering something to you, like some free music, USB, and I want you to fall into my trap. That is baiting. So I'm leaving some infected USB in a parking lot, which is labeled like employee salary data. And you guys will say, okay, how much salary this particular person is getting? Let me check it. That is baiting. Okay. And in that USB, something malicious is there, right? Then we have this tailgating. Tailgating means this time what happened? I'm following, like you are going to a restricted area, okay, to your organization, and I'm following you without your knowledge. So when you're following someone into a restricted area without authorization, that is tailgating. Okay, you are going in the organization and you use your card and you went inside, and I'm coming from the back. Okay, you have no idea that I'm following you, and I went after you. So that is tailgating without your knowledge. Okay. Water holing is there. Water holing means it's like a attack where, if let's say I want to target anyone, any particular person or anyone, and I know that person is visiting a particular website. Okay, like I do the social engineering and all, footprinting and all, and I know it. So now what I'll do to target that one person, I'm infecting the whole website, let's say. And now that particular person, like let's say Shraddha is there, Shraddha will go and she will click on it, she will get trapped, but along with that other people will also get trapped. That is water hole attack. Okay, so to caught one person, I'm compromising the website, that website which is visited by a specific people, a specific group of people. Okay, let's say a single person or group of people to infect their devices, and not only that person but others will also get will be getting infected from it. That's why it's called watering hole attack. Okay, it's like I'm just poisoning the water in the jungle, and not only tiger, because I want to target a tiger, but not only tiger was the one who get trapped, but others also get trapped. So that is water holing. Okay, then we have this pretexting. So pretexting is what? Pretexting is same like impersonation. Impersonation means I'm calling beans, like I will call you and I'll pretend to be your friend. Okay, and I'll ask you for help, or I'll call you and I pretend to be our CEO or someone and I'll ask for the help. That is impersonation. Pretexting is also same thing. In pretexting also, I'm calling you pretending to be someone I'm not, but this time what I'm doing, I'm making a better story, I'll make a better background story where I can you know convince you that I'm that person. So I'll make a background story with a proper proof and everything. That is pretexting. In impersonation, I'll just pretend to be someone else, but there will be no proper story for that. Okay, no proper proof will be there. But in pretexting, I will make a good story and a scenario will be there which with good proof and you will believe me. So that is pretexting. Okay, difference between spear phishing and water holing. In spear phishing, what I'm doing, I'm sending you email, okay, SMS, to only you 32 people, specific people. In water holing, what I'm doing, I'm not sending anything to you, but I'm actually I want to target you, so I'm targeting a website, let's say, and in that website I am making that particular website vulnerable, so that you particular people will visit it. Okay, and you will get infected, but not only you, others will also visit. Okay, it's not like only you 32 people will go, other 100 people will also go there, so now every one of them also get infected. But in spear phishing, only you guys will get infected, because I'm only targeting you guys, I'm only sending email to you guys, not anyone else. Okay, so this is the difference. Okay, so yeah, so that is pretexting. Now we have this scareware. Scareware means like when I'm trying to scare you. Okay, like I will trick user into thinking their devices is infected, and I'll make them install fake software. So your PC is infected, a pop-up will come, your PC is infected, download this antivirus now. So that antivirus is actually malware. So you are scared that, oh, my PC is infected, but actually you are downloading a malware. Okay, now we have this farming. So farming is what? Farming means you wanted to visit a website. Okay, so now uh, redirecting user to a fake website, even if you type the correct URL. Okay, and you are redirecting. That is farming. So I can do what? I can poison your DNS entry, which leads you to, let's say, some banking website. You want to open a banking website, but it will lead to your fake website, which look identical than the banking website. And now I can store malware in it, and once you click on it or you proceed to that website, you can become a victim of a attack. Okay, so these are the types of social engineering attacks. Okay, now let's do the question from this part. Okay, so this question says, I hope you guys can answer it, okay, because it's a bit tricky. An attacker pretend to be chief executive officer and calls an employee instructing them to purchase gift card. What types of social engineering technique is being used in this scenario? Option A, B, C, D. Okay, Shraddha is saying impersonation, impersonation. Okay, everyone is saying impersonation. But here one word is there. CEO. They are pretending to be CEO. Okay, that's correct. Here, I didn't explain this thing. Oh, Randeep, yes, option D, business email compromise. So actually the correct answer is option D here, business email compromise. I didn't explain this thing intentionally because I added that in this question. So what is business email compromise? Business email compromise is what? Here, what happened? You will get an email from your CEO. The attacker will pretend to be a CEO. Okay, and he will send an email to you to uh, do things, like to make you do things. Here what they are saying that I CEO calls an employee and instructing them to purchase gift card. Okay, so they are pretend. Now when the attacker pretend to be a boss, okay, impersonate as a boss and ask you to do things, then it is business email compromise. And this business email compromise somehow comes under whaling attacks only. Whaling attack. Okay, so business email compromise is the correct answer here. And if in place of business email attack, if you would have written whaling, they would have written whaling also. Like let's say exam day people write whaling also, then also you have to click on D only, because it is somehow related with CEO both. And sometimes it's happened like I'm a CEO, I'll send you an email and I'll ask you to transfer a money to my account. He make phone call. Same thing is happening. He's impersonating to be a CEO. That's why impersonation is there. So he's impersonating, but he's impersonating to be a CEO here, right? So he can do this, but veiling plus impersonation you can say. And yes, one thing, okay, correct. So call an employee, yeah, that you can say that he called the employee. So yes, in that case, business email compromise won't be there, but that's why I'm saying is if whaling would be there, then answer would be whaling only. Impersonation means someone pretend to be someone he is not. Okay, I can impersonate like anyone. Okay. uh See, in that case, yes, Subu is saying that there is no email mention here. Correct, there is no email mention here. They are calling an employee and instructing them to purchase gift card. What kind of engineering technique being used in this scenario? Yes, you can say that call is mentioned here. So yes, it is impersonation in that case. So yes, guys, my bad. You can say it C, because email is not mentioned here, it's a call. So in that case, impersonating can be answer. Correct, everyone. It would be impersonation. But let's say if in place of business email compromise, whaling would be there. Okay, then you have to click on whaling only. If this won't be there, and sometime in the question it happened that they write this question, okay, like CEO question, and it happened that people was getting confused. They were saying impersonation, but the correct answer was whaling in that one. Okay, so wherever you see CEO, okay, CEO is written in the question related with CEO, just know that the whaling or business email compromise with the answer, although the it would be given impersonation also, but you will go with CEO, BEC or whaling in that case. Okay, here you can say impersonation because call is mentioned here. So impersonation you can go. Correct. Wishing means when someone is calling you and making you do things. Okay, like I'll call you and I'll say that I'm calling from your bank and you have to, you know, make the payment, or your card is about to block. When phishing is happening over phone call. So don't get confused. Okay, when we talk of social engineering, everything are combined only. Attacker are using combined things and then doing the attack. Okay, you just have to focus on the question, like what they are trying to do and what kind of things they are doing. In real life they can mix, attacker can mix. So we cannot say that time that whether they are using whaling or whether they are using um, phishing or all anything, because they are combining things. Might be they are using phishing also, combining, impersonating in it, and then veiling. So it can happen in real life. Okay. So yeah, impersonation is the correct answer, guys. Option C, because here they are mentioning about call. Then we can go for impersonation. Okay. Okay, now we have next question, which says an administrator noticed that several files on the database server has been recently encrypted. Upon reviewing the security logs, it is revealed that the data was last accessed by a domain user account. Which of the following best describe the nature of the attack? Okay, so I got one answer. What about others? Hmm. So option A is the correct answer, right? Insider thread. Because social engineering is not the answer. Water holing is not unauthorized. Attacker is not. It's not unauthorized. Someone is inside, from inside only. That's why option A is the correct answer. Okay. Now let's talk about PKI. Okay. So when we talk about PKI, public key infrastructure. Okay. What is this PKI? PKI is a framework of technologies, policies, procedure, and we use these PKI to create, manage, distribute, use, store, revoke digital certificate. Okay, and keys, public key and private key. This is how your digital certificate looks like. Okay, what digital certificate does? Digital certificate gives you a proof of authenticity. It says that whatever things you are doing in this website, whatever source you will get in from this website is authentic. It is coming from a genuine website. It is not fake. Okay. See, PKI is like a public key infrastructure. It's like a framework where we talk about how certificates are managed. Digital certificates are managed. How it is created, how it is managed, stored, okay, how to revoke it, everything about digital certificates and about key, public key and private key. So PKI, it ensures that communication, authentication, data integrity, and digital signatures are secure in the network. And here, which you see in this diagram, they are the key components of PKI. Okay, we have public key and private key. Keys are there, public key, private key. So these keys are used for cryptographic encryption. Okay, public key and private key. Asymmetric encryption is there, asymmetric cryptography is there. Like we have encryption. Okay, encryption is there. Encryption, what we does in encryption, we convert the plain text into a unreadable form, or you can say cipher text, using keys. Okay, so here we have symmetric encryption where single key is used, and we have asymmetric encryption where two keys used, public and private. So when we talk about certificate, okay, digital certificate, we use public and private key. So public key is there in your certificate. Okay, and private key is saved with the server of this certificate. And this certificate is saying that this website is authentic. It's a proof. Okay, so keys are there, public key, private key. Then we have the CA. CA means certificate authority. So CA is the one, it's a trusted entity that issue the digital certificate. CA is the one who are giving a certificate, okay, for the website. And then we have this RA, registration authority. So registration authority is the one who verify user identity before giving them certificate. And then we have obviously digital certificate. So digital certificate is that file that have a public key of an entity, like a person or a website. And we also have CRL. CRL is certificate revocation list. So these are the list, like a list of certificate that has been revoked before expiration. That is CRL. And CRL we have, and we also have OCSP. Okay, OCSP is what? It's online certificate status protocol. It is a protocol to check certificate status in real time. And CRL is a certificate revocation list. Okay, the certificates which have revoked, that will come in CRL. And this online certificate status protocol will check the certificate status in real time. So what happened? How how this PKI work? So let's say a web server is there. Okay, he wants that web server wants to use HTTPS. HTTPS means secure. Okay, so it will create a public and private key. Okay, public key, private key will be created, and this public key, private key, it send the public key and certificate information to CA, certificate authority. And certificate authority will verify the identity and issue a digital certificate. Like how it happened, let's say this is C, here sender is there. So the sender will have a public key, like he will keep his information, his name, website name, everything detailed, keys, public key with it, and he will request registration authority to give him a certificate. He will request. Okay, registration authority registration authority will check everything about that person who wants a website, a certificate for his website. Let's say he will say, okay, everything is okay. Now he will tell CA that I have checked everything in this website about this person who wants to issue this website. InfosecTrain is the name of the website. It's good. You can issue him the certificate. Now CA will issue the certificate. Okay, and his public, this certificate and public key will store in verification authority. The certificate will be stored in the verification authority. If someone, okay, now when someone open that website, when browser see the certificate, okay, it says that it is issued by trusted CA and uses their public key to encrypt the data, and only server with the private key can decrypt the data. Okay, so in this certificate which we are seeing on our screen here, public key is there in this certificate and private key is stored in the server, and with the private key it can decrypt. So PKI, why PKI is important? Because PKI is a backbone of online trust. Because of it, it let user and system knows who they are talking to, and the data exchange becomes secure. Okay, that's why we use PKI. So whenever we are visiting any website, there we are using it. Whenever we are sending any email, encryption signing is happening there, also we are using it. In VPN authentication we are using it. Okay, and here I was talking about this certificate revocation list. So certificate revocation list is manually published list of digital certificate that has been revoked by the CA before their expiration. And if you want to check us this certificate revocation, so you can check it here. This is a certificate revocation list. Okay, and here the revocation detail is there of that particular website. So date 24 June it was revoked, suspended. Some reason is there. 25th May it was suspended. So 25th May 2023. So here the list is there. Revocation dates. And this is the revocation, this CRL number 18. So like this, you can check in the website also. Okay. So that is CRL. Okay. It will give you the list of certificate which are expired. Okay. After that, we have certificate signing request. So we need a certificate. So obviously we have to make a CSR, certificate signing request. So certificate signing request is what is it? It is a specifically formatted file that a user or server send to CA, certificate authority, where they want to request to give them digital certificate. Okay. So it will include a public key and a identity information which is used in their PKI system. Information means like let's say I want to open a website, so I'm sending the details. So when in the first place, whatever I'm sending to registration authority, that is our certificate signing request. So here what we are sending public key, we are sending common name. Okay, common name. Okay, like our website name, our organizational unit, our country, city, address, everything will be mentioned here, email address. Okay, we will be sending it. And now after seeing it, we will be getting the certificate. And then CA will verify it and it will give you the certificate. Okay, so that is certificate signing request. So we have a question here. Okay, and this question says an independent game developer has built a browser using the Chromium project to protect user from unsafe or invalid digital certificates. The developer needs to ensure the browser can detect and block certificates that have been revoked. Which of the following should the developer implement to achieve this? So among this, A, B, C, D, what is the correct answer? CA is certificate authority. Correct. So correct answer is A. A is what? A is certificate revocation list. So it will have a manually published list of digital certificates that has been revoked by a CA, by certificate authority. Okay, so CRL is the correct answer here. Ha, certificate revocation list. Correct. Now we have another question which says a major certificate issuing organization lost creditability due to unethical business practices. As a result, its superior authority withdrawn its permissions to issue new digital certificates. Now web browsers mark its certificates as untrusted. What term best described the prestigious role this company previously held but has now been stripped off? Okay. The question is describing a certificate issuing organization that used to issue digital certificates. And now they lost their credibility due to unethical practice. So who issue the certificate? Certificate authority. Okay, certificate authority is a trusted entity in the PKI that issue, that manage, that revoke digital certificates. So CA is the correct answer here. Okay, CA. Certificate authority is the correct answer. Option C. Okay, so now we have talked about, you know, certificates. Now let's talk a bit about authentication. So authentication is what? Authentication is a process of claiming. Okay, what is the difference between CA and root CA? See, CA is the certificate authority. Okay, root CA is what? Root CA, it's a type of CA. Okay, it's a type of CA. It's a, you can say that they are general certificate issuing organization. It is intermediate CA. That is root CA. Okay, and CA is they are the intermediate CA, root CA. Okay, and CA is the the major authority, you can say. Okay, now authentication is what? Authentication is like the process of claiming that I'm that person who I'm claiming to be. Okay, that is authentication. Means, very simple way how authentication work. Let's say you went to a like simple, very simple, like you're opening a social media, your social media account. You're writing a username and password. Okay, your username is xyz@gmail.com. Now, this is your username which is saved in the database. Now, how the browser, how the this application will know that you are that person who belongs to this ID? So now they will ask you to prove that, okay, are you that person? So how you will prove it? You will prove it with the password. You write your identity. Now to say that you belong to this identity, you claim this identity. Now you are giving a proof to them, and that proof is your password. So that is authentication. Authentication means it's a medium, it's a process of proving, claiming that you are that person whom you are saying in this username. Okay, so you are writing a password, you are giving a OTP, you are doing a biometric. These are the authentication processes you are using. Okay, you are claiming that you are that person who you are claiming to be. So in the authentication, we have factors of authentications. So here in your screen, you can see we have knowledge based, possession based, and inherence based. Or you can say something you know, something you has, something you are. Knowledge based means something only the user knows. Like a password is a knowledge based. PIN is a knowledge based. Security question is a knowledge based. Possession based means something in which, like, you have something in that possession, you will get the SMS, or you will get the response. So you are getting SMS OTP in a phone. So that phone is a possession. You are getting a magic link, okay, in your device, and you will click on that link and you will authenticate yourself without writing any password or anything. So you are getting something in the possession, something only the user has, and in that thing you are getting the link or a OTP. Some cubic key, security keys. Okay, that is a possession based. Then we have inherence based. So something only the user is, that is inherence based, means biometric. Your fingerprint, your face recognition, your this iris retina scan, your palm scan. So these are inherence based. So when you are using these different factors, then it becomes multi-factor or two-factor authentication. Okay, so when we say, notice this thing, okay, when we say two-factor authentication, so two-factor authentication means there you are not using password and pin together. If you are using password and pin together, it is not two-factor authentication, because you are using a factor from one, you are using the method from one factor only. You are using from knowledge based only, so it won't be two-factor. Two-factor means when you are using a password, that is a knowledge based. Along with that, you are using a SMS OTP. You are getting a OTP in your phone. Then it's become two-factor authentication. Or you are using a password and a fingerprint scan, then it's a two-factor authentication. Okay, like let's say you are using a card and you are using a biometric up scan, like thumb scan, then it's a two-factor authentication when you are using the factor from different factor of authentication. Multi-factor authentication means you are using more than two factors. You are using a SMS, you are using OTP, and you are using let's say face recognition, then it's a multi-factor authentication. If you are using password, pin, security questions together, it won't consider multi-factor, because here you are using the factor from same factor. Okay, so remember, two factor means you are using factors from different sources. So this is two factor and multi-factor. After that, we have a biometric factor. Okay, so we have this this biometric authentication. Okay, so in the biometric authentication, here we have FRR, we have FAR, and we have CER. FRR is false rejection rate. It is not a standard authentication factor. Okay, because it can come from it can fall between something you are or something you do. So but it's not a standard. So it's not considered standard authentication factor. Okay, it's just process. It's just like test a test to tell computer and to make the computer and human parts. So it's not traditional authentication factor, but you can say it can come under, okay, uh something you do, it might it come under it, or something you are, two category can come. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about biometric authentication. So here when we make biometric, okay, when we first time in the organization, when we go and we click on a biometric template, our data is saved in the template. Okay, and then we make it. So we have these biometric authentication, and here we have these methods, like these things we have to consider in mind, mechanism we have to consider in mind. So first is false FRR, false rejection rate, FAR, false acceptance rate, CER, cross error rate. So false acceptance rate, or let's say false rejection rate, is what? It is talking about the percentage of times the system incorrectly accepted unauthorized person as a legitimate one. Okay, like you are not the person, okay, but the phone is accepting you. That is false acceptance rate. That is false acceptance rate. Okay, false acceptance rate I'm talking about, that you are not that person. Okay, you're not the authorized person, but you are incorrectly accepted by the system. So it's a security failure. Think it as a security failure. False acceptance rate. False rejection rate. Here what happened? Here actually you are the person. Okay, you are the legitimate person, but the system incorrectly reject you. That is rejection, false rejection rate. So it is what? It is a usability failure. That means your own face isn't recognized by your phone under poor lighting. So that is false rejection rate. And false acceptance means this time your brother is trying to open your phone, and because you have a same facial structure, okay, somehow, so your phone accepted it. That is false acceptance rate. Okay, and then we have the CER, cross error rate. So cross error rate is what? It is a point at which FRR and FAR becomes equal. So it reflects the system overall accuracy. Means if CER will be lower, then the system is better. Okay. If I talk about the relationship between this FRR, FAR, and CER. So let's say if like a biometric system is there, okay, that work by comparing the match score of a biometric input, like let's say fingerprint and face scan, let's say, with a template which is stored in here. So now the threshold is there. Okay, the threshold determine how similar the input must be to be considered at match. So lower threshold means more acceptance. Okay, equals to more acceptance. If more acceptance will happen, that means false acceptance rate will increase. And because of that, false rejection rate will decrease. System will allow more false acceptance to reduce rejections. Okay, they don't want to reduce the rejection, so they will accept maximum people. And if we make the higher threshold, means we'll make it more strict, and if we'll make it more strict, that means false rejection rate will increase and false acceptance rate will decrease. That means the system will reject more to ensure no imposter gets in. That's why we have to make it balance. That is the point. We have to make this false acceptance rate, false rejection rate equal to balance between the security, that is false acceptance rate, and usability, which is false rejection rate. So that's why having lower CER is better overall system privacy, and we should have lower false rejection rate and lower false acceptance rate. It should always be lower. Okay, all three should be lower, then it will be better. So when we consider biometric, then these things are considered. Okay, so uh, let's say there is a fingerprint scanner is there. So if that fingerprint will be too strict, okay, that fingerprint scanner will be too strict, that means they will reject even valid user also. Even a single cut will be there in your finger, it will reject you. That means false rejection rate will be up. Or if they will keep it very simple, okay, they won't keep it very strict, then now what happened, now they will let a imposter in also. That means false acceptance rate will increase. So that's why we have to find out the CER, okay, which should be lower, where both error occur equally. So it used to compare system regardless of the threshold. So always CER should be lower, and it is a point where both FAR, means false acceptance rate, and false rejection rate should be equal. So it will balance it. Okay, this is what FRR is, and this is the diagram here. Okay, now after this we have types of access control. So we are talking about acceptance, we are talking about authentication. So we have this access control only. Access control means the person who have the right to access the things. Okay, it's talking about subject and entity, right? So here we have DAC, MAC, role based, and rule based. So here I will give you a very small example of each. Okay, and then we'll do the questions on same. So mandatory access control is what? Mandatory access control is a strict control, okay, where only system, like system means administrator determine the access rights based on security label. Like they will see the security label, like whether the data is secret, top secret, confidential, public, and they will see the people also who can access it. And then they will give the clearance level as well. Security level and clearance level, two things they will see in the mandatory. Okay, and the system will design who can access this data. So this is the most strict one, access control we have. And it is commonly used in military government environment. Okay, that's why we are talking about data. Labels are there. So let's say our user is there who have a clearance level of secret. Okay, he can clear the secret level. And there is a file which have top secret, secret, confidential, and public. So because he have a clearance level for secret, that means he can access the secret file, confidential, and public, but he cannot access the top secret one. So that is mandatory. It's a strict access control where the rights are given by the systems, okay, and the access rights are based on security level and clearance level. Based on both the access is given, and it is used in the military and government environment. That is mandatory. Then we have DAC. So DAC is discretionary access control. Discretionary is the most flexible one. Okay. Here the owner of the file will decide who can access my file and who cannot access my file. Like I made a file in the MS Word, and I will decide who can read, write, or execute in my file. Right? You create a file in the MS Word, you are the one who will give access to people. You are the one who will give access, read, write, execute permissions to the people. So now you are the one who will control the access, not the system. That is DAC. That's why we say it's the flexible model. Okay, where the owner will decide who can access it. Then we have role based. So role based is the one where the access are given to your role. Okay, what role you have in the organization, not to your name. Okay, it doesn't matter who you are. Okay, the roles, the permissions will be given to you in the organization based on the role you do in the organization. Like if you are HR, you have the role to, you have the right to access files in the HR department only. If you are in the IT department, you have the access to see the data in the IT department only. Based on your role, you cannot go to HR department, you cannot see that files. You don't have that right to do. That is role based access control. Then we have rule based access control. So rule based access control is what? Here the access is granted or denied based on predefined rule. Okay, we use rule based access control for making rule in the firewall also. Okay, or a condition like time of the day, condition like IP address or device type. So rule you are making, and sometimes we combine this role based with it. Okay, it is dynamic, you can change it. Okay, let's say I make a rule that employee can access systems only from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. That is a rule based. Or there is access is denied from unknown devices or external networks. So these are rule based. Okay, the rule in the firewall is a rule based access control. So mandatory is the strict one. Okay, where the roles, where the access is given based on your clearance level and your data level, like data categories. DAC is the flexible one because you are the owner of the file and you will decide who can access your file, who cannot. Role based, here the access is given to your role of the organization, what role you have in the organization, not to the individual. Rule based, you are making the rule here, like what things can be accessed at what time. So these are the rule. Okay, these are the four types of access control we have, right? Now let's see a question from here. So the question says a small defense contractor is setting up a new shared drive system and needs the proper control to ensure that only those with the correct classification can access any given folder or file. Which control would meet these requirements? So it's C. Okay, why it's C? Because defense is there. A small defense contractor is setting up a new shared drive system and need the proper control to ensure that only those with the correct classification can access any data. So what I told you, that here we see label of data, right? Clearance level, all these things are considered, and we use these things in a defense, in a government sector. Okay, where we need strong access. So option C is the correct answer. Administrator or system will decide. Discretionary means you created a file, okay, and you are the one who are the owner of the file, and you will say whether the third person can access my file or not. Role based is based on the role. So yes, see, uh, we do have combinations of role and rule here, but in the role we are only combining one thing, but in the mandatory we have to combine it's more strict. Just imagine that, because role based we can use in our organization, okay, commonly, but mandatory are used where we need more restrictions. Okay, so that's why C is there. C is the answer, because we are talking about a proper control. In the role based, it's not that strict. Role based is used to make the work flexible, okay, in the bigger organization. If the if the permissions are given properly, then it will be easy to know. But mandatory are there, we need mandatory where we need strict controls. Okay, so C is the correct answer here, because this is the keyword. Correct classification, okay, and defense contract, you can say, and proper control. I would say classification is a keyword here. Whenever you see the question, find out the keywords and you can answer it. So C is the correct answer here. Now we have a question which says one of the company's accountants submitted a ticket stating they could not access a particular section of the accounting software. Why might the accountant not have access to every part of the accounting software? That is least principle. So least principle is what? Least principle means you will get the right, okay, which are sufficient for you to do your work. That is principle of least privilege. You won't be given unnecessary rights. If you are an accountant, you will only get the rights which are necessary to complete your work. So that's why option D is the correct answer. And we are using these controls. Okay, why we are using it? Because we want to make our organization strong. We want to make the organization's structure strong. So that's why we use these controls. Yes, zero trust. Under zero trust, we do use all these things. Correct, Shay Krishna. Okay, so answer is D. Principle of least privilege.